is pounding. My dear home is where your heart is pounding. The road goes by, the trains go by, life goes by, but time is still. My dear home is where your heart is pounding. My dear home is where giants fleeing through the leaves, the redwood giants. She'd say, you were meant to come, we were meant to meet. You didn't want to leave, but it was all meant to be. You were meant to come, we were meant to meet. You didn't want to leave, but it was all meant to be. Meets me at down, don't look back. Run along with the golden bird. My dear home is where your heart is pounding. My dear home is where your heart is pounding. The road goes by, the trains go by. Life goes by, but time is still. My dear home is where your heart is pounding. My dear home is where your heart is pounding. She'd say, you were meant to come, we were meant to meet. You didn't want to leave, but it was all meant to be. You were meant to come, we were meant to meet. You didn't want to leave, but it was all meant to be.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us in our webinar today. And my name is Ngân, and I'll be responsible for hosting our program today. As you may know, the goal of the program is to provide you with information about the VICAP 2022, short for Vietnam Israel Crossborder Accelerator Program, a cooperation between the two countries that is receiving lots of interest from young people. And there is also a discussion session on unlocking your entrepreneurship, bringing many perspectives from experts on young entrepreneurship. And before I introduce our guest today, I would like to invite all of you to turn on your camera so that we can see each other and we can enjoy the webinar better. And this is my honor to introduce our guest today. I would like to welcome Mr. Nadav Eshka, Ambassador of Israel in Vietnam.
Thank you.
Welcome Ms. Shiro Levi, Deputy Ambassador of Israel in Vietnam. And welcome Ms. Quỳnh Võ, Program Director in Zone Startup.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Dr. Võ Đức Thành. He is the Dean of Faculty of Computer Science in University of Information Technology. Welcome, Mr. Đức Thành. And welcome Dr. Phan Bảo Giang, Vice Dean of Faculty of Public Relations and Communication in University of Economics and Finance.
Hello everyone, it's my honor to be here to join with you with such a very meaningful for the youngster. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you and welcome Mr. Bảo Giang. And now I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Omri Dai, COO of Tech7.
Hello everyone, and thank you for having me here today. We are really excited to be here and start that program, and hope it's going to be very, very successful.
Thank you. And now please welcome Mr. Itai Haro, Head of Global Programs from Tech7.
Hello everyone, it's great to be here. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you. And Mr. Gilad Comber, International Program Manager from Tech7.
Hello and shalom to everyone. Hopefully we'll have a successful program.
Yeah, I hope so. And Ms. Ha Thanh An, COO of IBP.
Hello everyone, looking forward to the program.
Yeah, and welcome Mr. Dũng Ngô, Head of Startup Fund from BSC.
Hello everyone, looking forward for you.
And I hope that all of us will enjoy our webinar today because besides the information from the program, we will have a very exciting discussion panel. And now, without further ado, I'd like to invite Mr. Nadav Eshka, Ambassador of Israel in Vietnam, with his welcome speech.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ngan, and everyone. My name is Nadav. I'm the Israeli ambassador in Hanoi, and I'm actually very, very excited to be here with all of you today. And I'm very glad to open the information day of the Vietnam-Israel Crossborder Accelerator Program, the VICAP 2022. And I congratulate all of you for joining us today. And actually, this is a first of its kind model of an Israeli-Vietnamese collaboration in the process of acceleration of startups and startupists. And it is led by the government of Israel and the Department of Science and Technology of Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee. So it's a joint governmental effort, first of its kind, which we are very proud of it. We work many years to make it happen. And today is a very special day because today we really start to implement it. So the idea is to teach and to learn from each other how to promote startupists, how to promote and how to make startup companies to stand on their own feet and to succeed. And this is a very complicated process. And I think that there is a lot for us, Israelis and Vietnamese, to learn from each other. And I think this is a first of its kind collaboration on this process. So this is not an Israeli process. And this is not a Vietnamese process, but it's a joint Israeli and Vietnamese process together, thinking together, accelerating together, creating startup environment together. And this is absolutely great. And that is why I'm very excited. And why do Israel decide to do it together with Vietnam? I think is very obvious, but I mentioned still, there are two main reasons. One reason is like the Vietnamese, like the Israelis, Vietnamese are energetic people and they are eager to succeed. And the second reason is that in Vietnam, the government understands the huge potential of the startup environment. And this is this is something that comes from above, from the government, but also from the people. So in this very exciting tendency, we are very happy to join and to be part of that. And that's exactly what we are doing today. So to you, the students who join us, you have a very exceptional and extraordinary opportunity to develop yourself, to enjoy such special, first of its kind process under the professionals both from the Israeli side and the Vietnamese side. And my last word is just to say thank you, great thanks to the professionals who lead this cooperation from Vietnam, the BSSC, and from Israel, the Tech 7. And I really want to say special thanks from BSSC, especially to Ms. Ha'an, to Mr. Zung, to Ms. Nyi, and from Israel, from Tech 7, to Harel Ram, Omri Dai, Gilad Kumer, and Itai Harel. Thank you very, very much. And special thanks to the team of the Israeli Embassy in Hanoi, headed by Deputy Chief of Mission, who is with us also here, Shirel Levy, Ms. Shirel Levy, and Ms. Anne, who supports this program and help to make it happen. So thank you to all of you for joining us. I wish you all a successful day. I'm really looking forward already for the results and outcome of this day. Thank you. Toda rabba. Sinkaman.
Thank you so much, Mr. Najab Esker, and thank you for your very inspiring words. And I believe that right now the attendees in the webinars, they are really looking for some information about the programs. And now I will invite Mr. Yung. He will present some general information about the program. Mr. Yung, please.
So hello everyone. Good morning in Israel and good afternoon in Vietnam. So my name is Dũng Ngô, Head of Staff Fund in BSC and Program Manager of VICAP 2022. So today I would like to share for you about the introductions, detail about information about the VICAP 2022. So please stop your sharing. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes, very well, Mr. Yung.
Okay, so VICAP is the short for Vietnam Israel Crossborder Accelerator Program as a multinational open innovation powerhouse. This program is organized by BSC and Tech 7 under the direction of the Ho Chi Minh City Department of Science and Technology and the Embassy of Israel in Vietnam. In VICAP, founding member possess a genuine passion towards entrepreneurship and internationality, with many years of accumulated experience handling program, information technologies, operations, academic research, and communications. So our past experience working with the international incubator and accelerator programs, we received that the enterprise and startups speak to us that those two-type practice seem to pursue different aims. The international startups want to reach their business and transfer their technology into the emerging market like Vietnam. Besides, companies want to sustain their competitiveness by the investing resource to create long-term and high-impact values via innovation, while individual or the new enterprise attempt to contribute their entrepreneurial skills, tech-savvy mindset, and innovative solution into appropriate environments to be recognized and create positive innovation. So VICAP is the first program in Vietnam aimed to create startups and ventures in the form of combining multinational resources between Vietnam and Israel. So in that context, we created the VICAP to enable multinational individual talents and new enterprise who have the purpose fit, value fit, and resource fit to match together to creating the innovation, initiative and ventures for build up, scale up, and long-term growth. The VICAP 2022 brings together established companies from Vietnam with students and young professionals from Vietnam and Israel through a co-creation framework. Multinational teams, some technological and business challenges are brought in by the companies. In VICAP, we will find out the potential multinational teams as well as the CEO. Each CEO of a team as the captain, and they have to find the right team to come on the board. So VICAP is leverage available resources and existing problems of the company, including SMEs and corporates, to attract problem and solver from multinational talents who are the innovative and entrepreneurial. So let's start off first. What can you win? Firstly, the network. And I guess it's network in terms of actually being able to make a difference. Besides, you will join in the 3 days in round training and team working about cross-cultural cooperation and entrepreneurship, where you can develop your personal, professional, and multinational network. You can receive a certificate issued by Israel and Vietnam. I think it will make your CV become highlight and valuable. So make you sure you stand out for that. The second one is that VICAP is the first program in Vietnam in the form of combining multinational resources between Vietnam and another country. So in addition, you will receive customized mentorship and additional training from VNSC and Tech7 experts to tech solution and to the next level. You have 3 months training and have the opportunity to showcase solutions to the companies and investor in the demo day. Besides, you can testbed and practice co-creation with the real company, which you can hardly find the actual data to validate your solution. So I think it makes you different than other. And finally, I guess the prize for the winning team is the most engagement for you to join the VICAP. 1 week training course in Israel with the full cost included is supported by the embassies of Israel is very interesting. So do you believe you can achieve it? Okay, you might ask yourself whether you can enter this program or not. So remember, this program is open for all senior students, the final year students, and the fresh graduate with the less than 5 years of full-time work experience. Because the VICAP is a cooperation program between Vietnam and Israel, so to promote the startup ecosystem of the 2 countries, so we will choose the participants who is Vietnamese and Israeli citizen. Besides some requirement for you to evaluate the suitability for the program, you are the open and entrepreneurial mindset and interested in learning about innovation. You are a team player with the fluent in English, great communication skills, and available for the workshop and time commitment during the accelerator for the whole phase in the program. So some of criteria advantage for you to be a winner. You have the project management skill. You are a team player with the professional experience with the multicultural work, or you have experience working in the big company or the corporate environment is an advance. So the timeline. So we have to talk about the timeline and get into the sum of logistics. We kicked off the program after the Vietnam test holiday around the middle of February. So, but unfortunately, because of rising of COVID after test, so that we have a barrier for to broadcast the information of the program to the participants. So we extended the deadline registration until the March 31st. So you have 1 week. So until now, you have 1 week remain to apply the program. After the webinar, let's access our website on link vica-program.com and fill your information to join the program. In the application form, we request you to answer some questions and submit your CV. The CV is an important information that we need to screen and evaluate participants because we will choose the best application to join the interview round. I have gotten some registration have flagged off the CV. So to enrich your chance of getting into the next round, basically fulfill the application form is prerequisite. And please take note this tip, and you have and you can supplement your information if needed now. After interview and evaluate each individual based on the program requirement, we will select top 40 participants, including 20 Vietnamese and 20 Israeli, go into the matching phase. The listing will be announced that putting it on our website by the middle of April. The top 40 participants will get training and training in the 3 days in round about the cross-culture cooperation and entrepreneurship from the experts of Vietnam and Israel. We call workshop week. It looks like a hackathon. There, you will have an opportunity to open your international network and team understanding via the program activities. So you will be requested to make the acquainted with the new friends and form to a team according to requirements for the program. If you cannot match into team, you can be dropped out of the program. The top 5 successful match team will go into the 3-month acceleration phase, and we are going to be announced at the beginning of May. In the acceleration phase, the team will get training and mentoring from the mentors of BSc Tech 7, professor from university, and the expert from the companies, which issue the challenges for you. They will support team closely with the advice and supply some tools for you to make the solution. You need to join 6 training workshops and take time to work with your team and your mentors. You have to spend at least 3 hours per week to meet your team with the supervised by VICAP team, and we call weekly call, which we hold every Sunday. You can also...
אוטובוס אחד עם באר שבע, 30.
Sorry. So you can also arrange more time.
Brian, you can do mute all, mute all.
So the technician will please will be a mute of the others. So for continue, your duty must be commitment to fully participate throughout this phase. If you drop out the midway, you have to pay back to the program 100 USD. It's including lecturers, mentoring, and international networking fee respectively. And if your team has a member drop out midway and does not guarantee for the minimum number of participants in each team, your team will be disqualified from the program. You will be required to submit your solution before the demo day. This is the final presentation you will pitch to the churches, companies, and investors who is invited by BSc and Tech 7. And then we have a team who is going to the winner. We announce there. So that's the full phase of the timeline of VICAP. So it's time to probably be good for you to actually find out what is it going to take to win. So there's 3 simple steps. The first one is you have to register as an individual. So you get onto the website, filling form, register, and join the program. After that, you can join the community and ask any question about the program. Make sure you register before March 31st midnight. The second step, if you are the official participant of the program, is the top 40. Please make sure commit fully practice participant throughout the acceleration program within 3 months. Find and match the suitable partners to your team. Attend all activities, including workshop week. It will be held on March from 25th to 27th. Every weekly call, training sessions, and mentorship. And the important is submit your solution before the demo day. Don't worry if you don't know anything now. We will support you during whole time of the program and finish your solution. On the successful of submitting solution, your team will be presenting to the panel of the churches remotely, where the presentation will be have 5 minutes to present and 5 minutes for Q&A. The final presentation will be on the end of July and will be in touch with you in the terms of allocated time slots based on that 2 weeks from there. In terms of the rule of team formation, your team can have minimum of 3 team members and maximum of 5. The VICAP organizer will match teams accordingly, taking into consideration that teams have diverse about nationality, skill set, backgrounds, gender, and matching social dynamics. The matching of team is up to the judgment and management taking into account the criteria that were mentioned. In each team, you should have the assigned roles for each member based on the strength and the weakness of member. A good team should have a CEO who has the deeply understanding the market, leadership, and strategy mindset, and etc. A CTO who has a strongly tech knowledge and experience. Business analytics to transfer the language between the tech and business. The roles of the 2 other members are based on the strategy of CEO and your team. In VICAP 2022, we bring 3 companies which are the excellent startup in Vietnam and worth million USD to issue challenge for you. The challenge relevant to their business with the real facing in fields such as Industry 4.0, the Internet of Things, the logistics, the insurtech, and or the fintech. Besides sharing their challenges, the companies will supply their data set about the problem for the participants to testbed, and they will assign the experts to work closely with your team to make the solution. I also received the queries about that you are not confident will solve the problem or not. Don't worry, the challenge you will be given is not the essence of the program. It is merely a framework for the program, and the solution that the team is working on does not necessarily have to be in line with the challenge presented to you. The solution can go in the various directions, and there is a lot of room for creative. So now in terms of training session, over 3 months for whole of VICAP, will be running a variety of training sessions. It's focused on 3 kinds of skills: team understanding, cross-cultural cooperation, and action pioneering. In addition to improve knowledge about entrepreneurship, innovation, business skills, and technology to ensure your team can solve the challenge. We believe that in order to work together, especially working with the international teams, you need to understand the culture and environment throughout the smallest things. So understand yourself, your team, and your country, and international collaboration ability from each other is important of training. The judging criteria. There are 2 kinds of group of judging criteria you should focus, including business criteria and technology criteria. The first one is the specificity. Has the team, you have to answer the question, has the team clearly identified the accessibility challenge they try to address, or has the team taken into account the limitation to see this idea through as a successful product? The innovation, does the proposed solution move the industry forward regarding employment or the communication for the company? And can the proposed solution be scaled to address global need? The technology, does the solution implement on the new technology to develop an accessible and intelligent solution? For example, the predictive analytics, the computer vision, or the AI applied, or something like that. And the last of this is the user-centric. Is the proposed solution developed to address the needs of the company or not? So finally, let me emphasize the rule and regulation. You can also reference this rule on the website as well about the media. In the VICAP, we have the right to use the ownership of photo, video, and films for appropriate manner to promote the entrepreneurship. the data confidential. All the participants are requested to treat any non-public knowledge you get about the other involved parties. For example, the company's partners with the confidential. And one more time, to ensure the success of the program, the participant which pass after the matching phase must sign an agreement and fully participate throughout the activity. If you drop out the midway, you have to pay back to the program 100 USD. In terms of the ownership of the team solution, the output of this program has a variety kind of outcome. For example, a presentation, a prototype, or MVP. And this output is validated and priced. If this outcome may be spin off to the joint venture, they will be held by 4 parties, including team Vietnamese participant and Israeli participant, Tech7 and BSC. If anyone to use the MVP for the commercialization, all the partners will discuss by the economic contract then. And last but not least, remember the decision of justice are the final. So if you have any question, any queries about the program, and you can contact us in this email from Vietnam and Israel. So thank you. Toda and cảm ơn for your listening.
Thank you, Mr. Dũng Ngô, for a very informative presentation about VICAP 2022. And everyone, let me remind you, if you have any questions about this program, I mean VICAP 2022, please remember to type your questions into the chat box. And now I'd like to invite you to watch a short video to have a general information, a general view about Vietnam innovation ecosystem.
Nước Văn Lang thời hùng vương thứ 17 mai ăn tin ròng rã thả dưa xuống biển để tìm những thương lái đầu tiên. Thế kỷ 19, Lương Văn Can, người thầy của doanh thương Việt Nam, khởi nghiệp xuyên biên giới Việt Nam Campuchia với điều buôn Đài Thanh và Hưng Thành. Đầu thế kỷ 20, Bạch Thái Bưởi, doanh nhân lừng lẫy khởi nghiệp từ khúc củi khô. Thập niên 80, 90 là khơi nguồn của làn sóng khởi nghiệp đầu tiên. Đầu thế kỷ 21, các startup công nghệ bùng nổ. Tồn tại được hơn 10 năm, mobility và xu hướng quốc tế hóa lên ngôi. Bạn có biết, Thái Lan là quốc gia có tinh thần doanh nghiệp hàng đầu châu Á. Israel là nước đầu tư nhiều nhất cho seed funding và các dự án nghiên cứu phát triển. Chính phủ Singapore viện trợ cho khởi nghiệp nhiều nhất khu vực Đông Nam Á. Và thành phố Hồ Chí Minh được bình chọn là thành phố mới nổi tốt nhất để khởi nghiệp. Hàng trăm tỷ đồng, hàng ngàn dự án khởi nghiệp được hỗ trợ vốn, hàng ngàn doanh nhân, thanh niên, sinh viên khởi nghiệp những kiến thức chuyên sâu về khởi sự kinh doanh, hàng ngàn doanh nghiệp trẻ được ươm tạo để phát triển, hàng trăm sự kiện lớn dành cho giới trẻ khởi nghiệp thành phố và cả nước. Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh, hành trình đánh thức sứ mệnh khởi nghiệp của giới trẻ Việt Nam. Miệt mài ghi dấu ấn với những chương trình trọng điểm. Ra mắt trung tâm hỗ trợ thanh niên khởi nghiệp, đơn vị đi đầu, cốt lõi trong tất cả hoạt động khởi nghiệp của thanh niên thành phố và giới khởi nghiệp cả nước. Cuộc thi khởi nghiệp Startup Wheel dành cho doanh nghiệp khởi nghiệp cá nhân, nhóm khởi nghiệp trên cả nước. Chương trình sàn giao dịch và đầu tư khởi nghiệp. Diễn đàn lãnh đạo trẻ Việt Nam. Chuỗi talk show câu chuyện doanh nhân khởi nghiệp và người trẻ khởi nghiệp. Những cột mốc mới, kết nối và xây dựng mạng lưới đầu tư đa dạng thành phần, thiết lập chương trình liên kết với cộng đồng khởi nghiệp khu vực và quốc tế, đầu tư nguồn lực các chương trình ươm tạo doanh nghiệp đổi mới sáng tạo, thực hiện các hoạt động xúc tiến thương mại trong các ngành kinh tế mũi nhọn, triển khai các nền tảng hỗ trợ nguồn nhân lực cho sự phát triển của hệ sinh thái khởi nghiệp, để thành phố Hồ Chí Minh trở thành một thành phố khởi nghiệp thực thụ cho giới trẻ, để mỗi người trẻ thành phố là một nhân tố thúc đẩy hệ sinh thái khởi nghiệp tương lai. Để chủ động đón đầu làn sóng khởi nghiệp hiện đại, chúng ta cần phải làm gì?
And this is a short video about Israel innovation ecosystem.
Technology and
Again,
innovation, country of shortcuts. Israel, a small country that has become a powerhouse of science, technology, and innovation. Country of shortcuts, efficiency, and sophistication. From Rambam to Einstein via myriad medical marvels, a land flowing with milk and honey, but also with science and research, where things are not done by the book and where operating instructions are merely a recommendation. The land of the Bible, yet with nanotechnology and an amazing iron dome to cover your head, with Venus above showing farmers below where to plow. A land of give and take, protecting computers and networks. Of remembrance and never forgetting, where water is desalinated and drip irrigation nourishes our fields, where there's no need for boxes because everyone thinks outside of them, where people believe in doing it another way, reinventing ourselves for the past 70 years. 70 years of great ideas, expansion to new horizons. 70 sparkling years igniting technological progress and nurturing brilliant new concepts that change our world. Israel, a land of pursuit of the unknown, of prominent scientific and technological brains who have shined on the international scene for years. 70 years, and it's only the beginning.
Well, after the two videos, we hope that you could have an overview about the innovation ecosystems in Israel and Vietnam. And now Mr. Itay Harold, Head of Global Programs in Tech7, will let us know more about the cooperation between the two countries in VICAP program. Please.
Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to be here with you all, digitally, maybe in the next time, physically in Vietnam. What we're doing here at Tech7 is that we're bringing innovation to the middle of the desert. I don't know if most of you know this information, but Beersheba is the capital of the Negev, which is the biggest desert in Israel. And this is how we looked like 10 years ago, maybe so. And this is us now. There is a huge technological center here in Beersheba next to Ben Gurion University. And our vision is to make one global innovation ecosystem in Beersheba, in the middle of the desert, outside of the center of Israel. And our mission is to build this ecosystem, make a huge network from everybody around the Negev area, and of course, Israeli and outside the country, and we educate to this to accomplish this achievement. As you can see, many companies starting to understand that there is something special in the desert in Israel. There is something special that happens in Beersheba, and a lot of companies starting to build R&D centers in Beersheba, in the Negev, and start working with students from the university and researchers from the university to make this dream come true. And to help them do this, Tech7 has a few programs that will help this ecosystem to thrive. So first of all, we have the Launcher Accelerator that we take young entrepreneurs that think they have a great idea and will help them to create startups. But in addition to that, we have the BIPA program. This is the older sister of VICAP. The BIPA program started 5 years ago. It's a Bavarian-Israeli partnership accelerator with Bavaria from Germany. And in addition, in the last cohort, we added Abu Dhabi that joined us for the same program. And after we understood that there's something happening here, there's something special in this kind of cooperation, it's something special with working with students from Beersheba, from the desert, with people from other countries, students from other countries, with companies from other countries, that we can make better things. So this is where Gate 7 was born, and later on VICAP was born. So I can talk as much as I want about BIPA because I manage the cycle and I'm the head of global programs, but let's hear it from some of the students that been in the 5 years of since we started. One second, let me share this video with you all. Oh, I can't share my screen. I think someone took the control.
So I think there is some technical problem, right? From your side, Ite?
From my side, I can't share my screen because somebody else is sharing his screen.
So let me ask our team.
Oh, okay. Now it's working. Let's share the screen. And can you see the video?
Yes, very well. But no sound, Ite.
With no sound?
Yes, no sound.
Ah, we can make it work. 1 second. Now you can hear it, right?
Yes.
BIPA is kind of like a kaleidoscope where you have all different people from different backgrounds and cultures and shapes coming together to create something new and super colorful.
It's teamwork, creativity,
and family.
BIPA boosts innovation by bringing people together from different backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, and different expertise. Now, when they are all together, they complement each other.
The companies are the box, students are out of the box. We do it by bringing an intercultural perspective into that box.
So that's the perfect setup for creative problem-solving approaches, creative ideas, creative solutions, and therefore for new innovations.
Participating in BIPA encouraged me to think outside the box and think of creative solutions.
Where you develop new skills and set the right mindset and help identify the root of the situation or the problem.
It's international,
dynamic,
and encouraging,
challenging,
and long-term friendships.
We believe that our participants are at the peak of their creativity at or right after university. So we think that is a great way to address challenges.
And when I joined BIPA, I got to meet innovation departments of companies. That made me even more passionate about what I do now.
So the time was amazing, very innovative, super collaborative.
And meeting new people from different fields, it's really a beautiful experience.
So hey, dear companies out there, we would like to really recommend you to participate in BIPA. It is an amazing experience. You get lots of great different perspectives. You get to work with international students that are motivated and are really driven to solve your challenge. So make sure to be part of this experience.
So in the end, our work will actually add value to a real company's business.
And give us a safe space where we can actually present our ideas and think freely.
Are you young, dynamic, studying at a very young university or in Israel or maybe in the United Arab Emirates and want a chance to actually get to know and work with real companies? Then join BIPA.
When I hear BIPA, I think about innovation, synergy, and opportunity. BIPA brings two cultures together, the Israeli Tachlis improvisation and the Bavarian focus and structure. I was so delighted to see BIPA expand to the Emirates. This is a brilliant initiative, and I'm thrilled to see what the future of BIPA holds.
By working in interdisciplinary and international teams together, BIPA helps us to learn from other nations, to learn about their strengths. But BIPA also helps us to start and to initiate collaborations between established companies, between startups, and also to create systemic innovation. And third, and perhaps most important, by working together in real projects, we also understand better the culture of the other nations, but also we could create relationships and even friendships, not only on a personal level, but also on a national level.
So this was BIPA. And I think the most important line from all of this 3 minutes video is they're making real difference. The students are working on real problems and they're bringing real solution to the table that somebody will use. And like Brian said, if the end of the challenge, the presentation, it's not the goal of the program. It's to create something, it's to work with a company, to make great networking with other countries and other companies. And as you can see, those are the last cycle happy students of BIPA. And this is actually what was happening on the Israeli side. All the Israeli was sitting in our offices at Beersheba, and we even made an international podcast with German student and 2 of Israelis. And we're hoping it will be the same with the students with Vietnam. We have the same great experience. And of course, we're spreading to more countries, and we want to flourish with this kind of partnership, working with the BSSC and Vietnam. And of course, you're the students, to meet you, to get to know your culture and how do you work and how your student lives and how do you think. And this is all the important things we want to learn from you. In addition to all of this international program, of course, we have our own community here in Beersheba, and we have a lot of meetups and 3 kinds of accelerators for more mature companies and more mature students. And this is us, and hopefully we have a great preparation with you guys and the embassy, BSSC, and of course with the students. And I can't wait that the program to start. See you all in 1 month.
Thank you so much, Mr. Itay. And we hope that this collaboration and this program will bring many opportunities for young people interested in innovation to, experience and develop themselves. And then they will bring something to the companies and to the society as well. And as I mentioned before, the next session will bring us expert perspectives on the topics of unlocking your entrepreneurship. So now, without further ado, I will turn the time over to Ms. Ha Tan An, CEO of IBP, who will be the moderator with 4 panelists. And our panelists include Mr. Itay Harold from Tech 7, Dr. Ngô Đức Thành, Dean of Faculty of Computer Science in University of Information Technology, Dr. Phan Bảo Giang, Vice Dean of Faculty of Public Relations Communication in University of Economics and Finance. And finally, we have Ms. Quỳnh Võ, Program Director in Zone Startup. And just a small reminder, everybody, please make sure to type your questions into the chat box if you need some more information or you need to clarify any information from the webinar. Thank you. Ms. Anne, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Ngân, and welcome all of our panelists into the panel. I know that Ngân has already introduced all of you guys, but just to make sure that the audience, get familiar with you guys, I just want each of you to please take a very short moment to introduce your name again, what you do, and most importantly, I want to begin our discussion on the entrepreneurship with each of you. Please choose a keyword regarding entrepreneurship of your choice. So could you please introduce yourself again and pick a keyword about entrepreneurship? I'm going to start with Itay.
Yes. So this is a tough question, actually. So first of all, I'm Itay Harel. I am almost a graduate student for biomedical engineering at Ben-Gurion University. It's my 2nd year here at Tech 7 in Beersheba. I was the manager of BIPA the last cycle and now the head of global programs. And I think that my word for entrepreneurship is it's feeling, because it's something that burns inside of you. It's not something that you can just go to a class and learn about it and read a book about it. And there's many books about it, but you need to have this feeling inside of your heart that you want to make a change, you want to make a difference. And then this is where the real entrepreneurship really happens.
Thank you, Ike. Very interesting keyword. So I would like to ask Dr. Tan, please.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Very nice to see you here. So my name is Cô Đức Thành in Vietnamese, but you can call me Thành for short. So I'm now at the University of Information Technology, a member university of Vietnam National University in Ho Chi Minh City. And in our university, we have around 10 majors, all about information and communication technology. And we have around 2,000 students each year. All of them are IT guys, you know. So entrepreneurship is a very important topic that from the university side, we expect our students to engage to that activity, because for example, when we build our curriculum, so one important point we want to add to our curriculum is about entrepreneurship, not at the member university level, but at the national university level. We want to integrate entrepreneurship, all about the skill, the knowledge, and also the willing to do that to our student. But for example, with my experience, from my point of view, when I interact with my student at the UID, so they are very good at technical solution. They're very good at technology, but and they have some knowledge about entrepreneurship. Yeah, but they need more change to actually experience all the stuff for entrepreneurship or for startup. And that reason why.
What is your keyword for entrepreneurship? Your choice of a keyword?
From my point of view, I would like to choose the keyword about action-oriented.
Action-oriented.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Two keyword. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I hope that the action will be oriented the right way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tan. And how about you, Dr. Yang? Could you give us a short introduction about yourself and, of course, your choice of keyword on entrepreneurship?
Hi, guys. And my name is Yang, and I'm from the University of Finance and Economics. And actually, you know, now you can call me a teacher, but I used to be like a startup, an entrepreneur. And, you know, I used to start up 2 companies, and with also the success and also the failure. So I can tell my students about all my experience, my own experience, my real experience. I have to say that even the new generation of Vietnam get more and more developed and try to get the state of a so-called global citizen. But I myself found that they still need to enhance the networking and practice the leadership more. And my keyword is discipline.
Discipline.
Discipline. I really want them to, you know, follow up strictly with what they promise to themselves and also to promise to their teammate. So that's my keyword.
That's a very interesting keyword. Thank you, Dr. Yang. And we have joining with us today a very lovely lady. Win, can you introduce by yourself and, of course, share with us your choice on a keyword?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Queen. I'm from Zone Setup Vietnam. Zone Setup Vietnam is a part of a global network from Canada. So operate by Rise Accelerator. So right now for Zone Setup, we have we have 6 countries. We have Canada, of course, Canada, New York, India, Vietnam, Japan, and Korea. So yeah, so we have an ecosystem from Canada. We have like Ryerson University in Toronto. So we have DMZ is one of the biggest incubator in Canada. And then we have Zone Setup to support the company. And we also have a small seed fund to support our own startups. Thank you. My keyword is flexible. I believe these days with the pandemic and everything, I think, you know, the flexibility kind of skills is one of the, you know, thing that the founder need to have these days.
Thank you. And that's also a very interesting keyword and your take on the pandemic as well. I know that you one of the last panelists I introduced, so I'm going to take you to the spotlight a little bit more. Out of the 3 keywords that you have heard, you know, feelings, action-oriented, and discipline. If you to pick one in order to, you know, in order to tell about your startup in your accelerator, which one would you pick? And very shortly, why?
Well, I was the last one and you gave me the hard one.
Sorry.
So I have to say with the situation of Vietnam, if I could, I would just combine 3 of it. But if I have to choose one, I would just go with action. I think it's one of the most important one because, you know, people say you got the idea, your idea worth nothing. Everybody can copy your idea and then don't be afraid to share that. But, you know, how you execute your plan and how you move forward. And then if you just sit down and tell people that, okay, I need money to do ABC, but if you never do it, or if you never, you know, keep up with your tractions, keep up with your KPI, you know, it's going to be hard for any helper or supporter or accelerator program, VC fund to follow and support you. Yeah, so I think if I have to choose one, I would have to choose actions because, you know, I love doer than talker.
Thank you so much, Gwen. And that's also very beautiful in sum of our first take on entrepreneurship. I know that all of you guys have your own reason to pick your keyword. I think entrepreneurship is very diverse and all the keywords that you've chosen are a very interesting one for our audience to take away, actually. We have 2 doctors here, Dr. Yang and Dr. Tan. And I just want to start with you guys on a difficult question, I guess. So many people say that the birthbed of entrepreneurs are from the universities, where you can do the research and then you can build the product and you can bring it to the market, which has been true around the world, especially in a country like USA with Silicon Valley. But in Vietnam, we haven't seen many successful startups from universities. So in your opinion, what are the mixing links between academia and market? Dr. Yang, would you like to take it first?
I think, sorry, Dr. Tan, but I want to say that we are lacking of the teacher with the real, experience. Just a very well-experienced teacher, they can bring the student into the real case. So I think we are lacking of that resource. So maybe I can hear something from Dr. Tan so that I can imagine, I can think something else.
Yeah, thank you. I actually say at the same point. So I realized that, for example, in my case, so I'm more about academic guide. So when I look at a problem, it's very academic problem. I want to look at the beautiful in theory, but I lack the feeling about the market, how to make it into product for the actual end user. And what I think that is a very common problem with all the professors in Vietnam. They somehow skew to more about academic research. And like Dr. Yang mentioned, I think the missing link here is a kind of experienced mentor who can actually link the idea and link the technology into a real and practical problem that can bring the actual value products to the world.
And Dr. Yang, you said that you have started your own startups.
Yep.
And so have you brought your own experience to your students, when we talk about entrepreneurship, say at your universities?
Yep. Actually, that's the student, they always think like a pink word with a lot of, beautiful things. But I have to give them a very rushed, very difficult, so that they can imagine how hard, how difficult they have to face in the future. And actually, I would like to answer something else with the first question from Ms. Ang. Besides that, we are lacking some experienced lecturer. And also, that in the Vietnam, the education, we just try to focus in one section. And then they don't want to integrate all the knowledge, all the information, so that we can have a big project. It means that we are lacking of the leadership and also, combine things together. So for example, the guys studying the marketing, so they just focus in the marketing. They don't think about the technology. They don't think about the finance. But I think that's a very big lack of the students in Vietnam, so that we cannot develop more with a big project like another country. Back to my own experience. So, that I don't know the situation of Dr. Tan, but when me, as a teacher, when I talk to my student, they don't trust me 100%, even I'm a teacher. So I try to bring my colleague, my friends, my expert, my mentor also, they bring to my class, so that I give them so many voices, so that they know that it's not from the teacher only, because that we have a bad thinking that the teacher always say something very theory. So I need some support from my colleague, even that I maybe sometimes get better than them. So that's my lessons, so that I can bring to my student. I bring a lot of people, so that they have many stories and many networking.
And I'm sure next time you can bring, Win and Itay and Dr. Tan to your university.
Sure. Itay said that he wants to be here in real, not for online, right? And everyone, welcome to the University of Finance and Economics.
Miss Anne is very good connector, like match.
Cool.
I just want to add one thing, especially with students. I think the environment is quite important for them. They need a professional environment for the startup or entrepreneurship.
Yep, and to create that environment, we also need a lot of, real case entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs to come and share with the students. Joining with us today, we have Itay all the way from Israel. And just to give you guys a very quick and short fact about Israel, I know I looked it up a long time ago, but still very amazed to learn about again. You know that the population of Israel is less than 10 million. That's like 1/10 of the population in Vietnam. But Israel has the highest number of startups per capita. It is one startup for every 2,000 Israeli. And I've just read a report that by today, Israel has 79 Israeli founded unicorns all over the world. And the combined valuation is 228 billion. That's huge. And Itay, since you're here, can you share with us 3 things about entrepreneurship that students in Israel got it right from the early age?
Yes, so actually those things that made us bring 79 unicorns last year is some kind of bad and some kind of good. Because like we said, there is something that's called chutzpah in Hebrew. It's the Israeli chutzpah, it's a sassiness, it's never knowing when to stop, even if you need it. And when somebody doesn't answer your phone, you just go to their office, knock on the door, and it's like, what the hell, you need to answer. And this kind of thing that make us, even the students in Ben-Gurion University, to demand what we want. Because like you both said, that we need a teacher from the university, but the teacher needs to know what the students want. And sometimes the researchers and the professor in the university are really research minded, and they know what they're doing, and they have a lot of experience. And sometimes it's hard for the students to let them know what they really want and what's going outside in the world. And the Israeli chutzpah and this some kind of sustenance and never know when to stop, it's what make us to demand it and to get it and to build communities of entrepreneurs in Beersheba, like Tech 7. Tech 7 was founded by 2 students that they thought that there weren't enough meetups in the local bars in Beersheba, so they started a meetup organization, an NGO, nonprofit organization, and it just grew and grew and never stopped. And they don't know where to stop because, again, we have the chutzpah, we think we know best, and we try to prove everyone we know best. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't, because as we learn here, there is different cultures, because in Israel, everybody is Israelis. So everybody knows how things works. But when we go out and walk with Vietnamese and Germans and Mexicans, it's going to be a little bit different because of the difference about the cultures. But I think that there's some things that we can teach you, and there's a lot of things that you can teach us. And these mixtures of culture and business culture and research and university is even going to get us even more than 79 unicorns, because we're getting in some kind of skills and information that nobody gets nowhere in the world, because there is none of Israeli-Vietnamese partnership accelerator nowhere. And this is the first time that I believe will benefit all of us, and the young students that will start here will post a LinkedIn post in 5 years. Thank you, VICAP, for introducing me to this kind of world. I'm now a unicorn with my partner from Vietnam. Thank you very much. And this is when we know that we succeed.
So it seems like for you, it's more about the feelings that you really want to do it, and then the action oriented, that you just go out and do it, and you have a very strong discipline to keep doing it until you can reach somewhere and you can be successful. And thank you, Itay, as well, for choosing Vietnam to become our partner. When I have a question for you. Before I can turn on, some of the questions from the audience. You've shared that Zone startups have been around the world. You have programs from Canada to Europe and here in Vietnam as well. I'm sure you've been around the world as well. You have seen so many startups from across the globe and Vietnam. So what do you think that the startups shouldn't be doing, in your opinion? Not what should they do, but what shouldn't they do?
The other speakers, I'm smiling because, it was like, you got a hard question.
Sorry, again, sorry. No, because I love you, because you're the only lovely lady here in the panel discussion with me, of course.
Well, there's a lot of things that startups shouldn't do. I mean, for example, for very early stage, they shouldn't just, for example, getting to FOMO right now for like on of the blockchain and metaverse and coin and cryptos, shouldn't do like that. Mm-hmm. It's gonna harm the business if they don't know what to do and where to go. So I think it's best if they can, do a little bit of research first and know exactly where they're going. The second thing, I think, for my experience working with Zone Startup, and then we have around 30 startups in our portfolio, and every year we invest about 5 to 6 teams. So I think keep getting let your investor or future investor know what you're doing by updating them all the time. Don't be delayed in that. will support you a lot, or just raise your questions and raise your need in all of the report, all of the meeting will support you. So don't just, I do my way, you are my investor, you are my supporter, accelerator, so you don't need to get into my way, so yeah, it's gonna be jumping here and there a little bit because I didn't have time to prepare. But I think most important is what you do. So as Zone Setup, we love to put our founders in first priority, like the founding teams always. The first thing we look into in the due diligence process. So I think be getting balance in your teams. If you do tech, if you're a technology company, you should have, one tech guy or your CTO into your team. When you get into the stage of, raising your money into Series A, B, or even, seed round, you should have someone who knows about finance to support you to do the spreadsheet and then to tell you, what's gonna happen next, and then, all of the support you need. So I think it's better to have an accelerator program or incubator program, not because I work in the field, but I think once you go on the journey, you should know your journey, the path that you go, and what are the support system that you have, like incubator, accelerator program, VC, all of the program that you can count into. Each and one of them will have a small support into your journey, and the further you go, the more people behind you, watch your back. Yeah, 5 cents.
And to the audience listening to a webinar, if you want to find such support, please come to VICAP. This is the first of, I think, the first ever that we have a joint program between Vietnam and Israel. And like Win has shared, Dr. Yang also shared, here you have a very diverse team. You have teams from Vietnam joining with the team in Israel. Some of the teams will have very strong tech background. Some of the teams will have very strong finance background and strong marketing background as well. So together, I'm sure you guys are gonna have a memorable journey throughout the Vietnam-Israel Cross-Border Accelerator Program. To our coming back to our two doctors again, I just have one question that I really want to ask you guys. That when talking about entrepreneurs and say the examples of entrepreneurs, students in Vietnam love to talk about those that drop out of universities, the like of Bill Gates, the like of Mark Zuckerberg. So if your students come to you saying they have great ideas, they want to do your own startup and they want to drop out, what are you going to say to them? Dr. Tan, I'm sure at the University of Information and Technology, loads of students want to do their own startup.
All right, so you have a lot of tough questions, I think.
My job.
Okay, but that's tough, really tough. Just give me time.
In the meantime, Dr. Yang, would you like to help?
I just asked them that how many failed guy, You just see the successful guy, and then they just a very few guys, right? So how many failure with that? So you have to study, you have to learn. That's it, nothing else. And then I just try to give them something very practical, very real, and that's it. No need to explain more.
Can we, I know I have also same topic. Can they just drop out and then get experience and then let the life or the startup life fail them, like slap them in the face, and then they will get to know what happened and then come back to school? Is it possible for the school to give them a gap year to do so?
Sure. I mean, I have so many students that did it, and the possibility that the student they come back after they go out, they have a gap, is a very needy, it's a very small amount, because when they take a gap here and then they stop learning, studying, and then they have no mood to continue with their study. So I always, encourage my students that they try to finish their study before they can take a gap, they can travel, they can do anything they want, but they have to finish their study.
Ite, do you have any experience in Israel that you could share with us?
Actually, I think that I can share with you the other side. As a student in Israel, the entrepreneurial country, I think that the university give you a lot more than just school. It's more than just going to physics and programming classes. You learn a lot more than just those theories and practical things. You need the support of the experienced professors and people who've done it before, and just to learn how to look at things, to meet other peoples, to learn other cultures. And I think that if you have a great Facebook idea, fine. But this is, I like to say, it's 1 in a billion. And you need this kind of programs. You need to be able to join VICAP to learn how to be entrepreneur, how to be in some kind of safe zone and teaching environment that if you failed, nothing happened. Because if you failed in some kind of challenge, it's fine because you learned a lot. And you have the people around you to say, hey, look, you did this thing wrong, you did it better. And now you can learn from it and do your own startup after you graduate with more experience than you had if you dropped out of the class.
Yes, and be flexible and be ready to fail.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Got it. But yeah, maybe I have enough time. Thank you. All right. So my point is that, so actually, I see 2 types of student in my place. So the first type, they are very consistent. They're very consistent. They study and they pay a lot of how say power on the way on what they want to do. But it's a pro and con, right? But it would be bad if they have time to look back and if the direction is from the beginning. That's one point. And the second type student, they are very inconsistent. They kind of random work. They have a lot of idea. They want to do a lot of things. So they try to do something first. And when they have to face a kind of challenge, they choose, and no, it's not the problem they want to solve. And then moves to the other problem and they just move around and they go to nowhere.
So the second one doesn't have the discipline required in order to become an entrepreneur, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think just to very quickly sum up, the ideas that you have shared with our audience today. I mean, the journey of entrepreneur is not something shiny. Please do not do it out of FOMO. Please do not do it because, your colleague or your peers are doing it, but do it when you have, an urge, a really strong feelings that you want to do something and you want to make a dent in the universe, and be disciplined. I mean, this is not a journey of easy. This is a difficult journey that requires a lot of skills, leadership skills, skill in finance, skills in even pitching with investors, everything you have to learn and to practice and make it perfect. And if possible, find a program somewhere safe that you can try and practice these before going out there and make it a dent in the universe. So thank you so much, our panelists. I think some of the audience may want to have some questions for our panelists, either regarding the tech or entrepreneurship or regarding the program. Please, if you guys have any questions, you can put it in the Q&A box. There is one question what qualification does VICAP require candidates? I believe this question will be more suitable to be answered by Dũng, the program manager of VICAP. Dũng, are you still there? Can you please?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here. So thank you for your question about the qualification of the requirement for the participants. As I mentioned in my presentation, I said that we are open to all the senior students and all the final year students and the fresh graduates at least 5 years working experience. About the qualification, there is no standard of the qualification is the best for you. But if you have any is the advance, because the qualification is recognized for you about the leadership, about the innovation, or about the experience for the non-working, and for to show that you have the join in to the activity outside the academic research or outside the working experience. So if you have any qualification, is the best advice for you for us to evaluate and choose have the best chosen for participate in the program.
Okay, thank you, Yum. I see that some of you guys cannot write the questions in Q&A box. You can write the questions in the chat bar as well.
There's a question in the chat box.
Oh, I see. Yum, there's a question I believe this is also for you, because they ask about the inability to join if there's something happened to the team. Or could you also take this question, because you know, taking on your experience of organizing similar events. So what if one of the team has some problem and their member cannot join? What can we do to help the team?
Can you repeat the question? What we can do if there is some participant that need to leave?
What happened to the team if there's one member cannot continue with the program?
So as past experience, first of all, we're doing everything that if you accept it to the program and you're part of it, that you won't drop out. And we can find a way to be flexible enough to make sure that you stay on the program, because you've been interviewed and you'll be chosen from all the Vietnamese students or the Israeli students to join this program. And if you fit it, we want you to stay in there. But each case, we solve it in a different way. It depends what happens and what you need to do. And if one team are short in participants and they need some kind of help, we can do this in many ways, from mentoring to helping them with the company, and maybe to do something else. But each case we solve differently.
And there was a question about registration, so I can answer it. The question was, if somebody signed up for the first deadline by the 15th, and now we postponed the deadline because of COVID to the 31st, is it the same registration? So the answer is yes. If you signed up to the previous deadline, it's the same form, same registration. So don't worry. We just postponed it because of COVID reasons. It doesn't affect your registration at all. So I hope I answered that question. Thank you.
There's one more very interesting question. May foreigner students studying in either Vietnam or Israel join VICAP? Well, already the program has been global, not just Israel and Vietnam. So Itay and Yum, were you guys willing to let students from other countries to join?
Of course, we actually have the last cycle of BIPA. One student from Nigeria, and it was great experience because he is an Israeli student. He was studying in Israel for 6 years, and he knows the culture of Israeli startups, and he was taught how to use chutzpah for his benefit. So we believe that any student in Israel can join the program and bring another view to this program, because this is the main thing that the program wants to do, to think outside of the box. And we want those students to join us.
Awesome. Can I join as well? Actually, there's one question here, is that so only students can join the program. Dũng, can you take on this?
Yes, actually, in the first idea of the program, we just choose the junior background. It means the senior student and focus on the student. But after when we open the application and we receive a lot of registration about the profile of the participants, and I received that their profile is very valuable and with the high background for the PhD or have the master's certificate. So I think that if you when we choose the great multinational team we have suitable from each other from each country. In the Vietnamese team and Israel team have the suitable and can make the team working together. So in this now, you can apply for the program. Accept you are not a student also. If you have engaged for the program, you can join in this.
Okay, I think those are the last questions of today, and we are, just on time. So I just want to take the opportunity to thank all the panelists one more time. Thank you, Ite. Thank you, Dr. Thanh. Thank you, Dr. Yang. Thank you, Win, for taking your time and joining with us. Special thanks to our supporters and organizers from the Israeli embassy here in Vietnam. And I wish the program all the success. And to all the audience out there, please do not hesitate. Just keep on moving forward, take the action, click on the application form, and let's start the whole program. Okay. Thank you very much.
I have a mention idea because we receive a lot of questions in this webinar. So because we don't have enough time for answer all of your questions, you can write that, you can email for your question into the email of the organizer at the cap@bsc.vn or get7@bsc get7@tech7. I don't really remember the email.
So Mr. Dũng, can you please type the email into the chat box so everyone can see it clearly? Yes.
I share the screen about the email of the organizer. In Vietnam, you can email at cap@bsc.vn, and in Israel, you can email at get7@tech7.org.il.
Thank you very much for your wonderful, moderation, Miss Ang. I admire too much.
Thank you, Anh Yang. Sorry for more questions.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we look forward to receive, your collaboration in the program as well. I'm sure lots of students from your university and from Dr. Thanh University would like to participate in this program and win a chance to scholarship to Israel. Win a chance to see Ite, Gilad, and Tech7 in real, right?
All right.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you so much, guests, for the information related to the VICAP 2022 and the very interesting discussion on entrepreneurship. And wait no more, everybody. If you really want to experience a super innovative environment with super interesting people in super cool projects, join us in VICAP 2022. And we have 1 week left for registration. Visit our website on VICA-program.com for more information. Thanks again for joining us today, and stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hello, cảm ơn Hà An nhé, cảm ơn Dũng nhé.
Dạ, cảm ơn chị Bảo An.
Hẹn gặp các em ở trong đấy nha.
Dạ vâng ạ, lúc mà chị vào thì em sẽ bất tử rồi.
Và chị sắp vào con em đấy. Bye bye các em.
Em đang F0.
Thôi cố lên, giỏi lắm. Chị bảo đang F0 mà nói hơi quá, tốt quá. Bye bye em.
Thôi em cảm ơn cả nhà.
Bye bye cả nhà, em đi dậy đây. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye, thank you Ngân.